Hello everyone, in this video we're going to solve the square root of any whole number or a number in decimal form by using the division method. Like this for examples over here. Square root of 5, square root of 1225, square root of 2.345, and square root of 231.132. So in here we'll be using the division method. So let's start with square root of 5. So we write 5 as like in division. Okay, now think of a number that if when you square it, it will be closer to 5 than or not more than 5. So what is that number? So 2, right? Since 2 times 2 is 4. So put 2 right there and 2 right here. And we double that, so that's 4. And now 2 squared is 4, right? So we have 4 there. And subtract it. 5 minus 4 is 1, and we have the decimal point right there. We put it on top the same way. So we add zeros, two zeros at a time, so bring down 0, so that becomes 100. And now this 4 will be in the tens digit now, so we have a square over here where we find that number that goes in the ones digit that comprise this number, so 40 something, and if you multiply this to that number, it will be close to 100 or less than 100. So what would be the number over here? It's like 45, 43, 42, something like that. If you say 3, 43 times 3, that'll be 120, 129 already, so it's over 100. So if we say 2, so this now becomes 42 times 2, that is 84, right? So we put that 84 here and subtract. So 100 minus 84, that's 16. And add another 2 zeros on the right, so bring down zeros over here. And now 42, we add that units digit of 2 right there to make it 42 plus 2, that will be 44. So we put over here, and now we're forming another new ones or units digit on here. So think of number to be added to 440 and multiply it to the same added number. It will be equal or less than 1600. So what would be the number? So in here, by the way, we forgot to put 2 since our answer right here is 2. So 2 right there. And what would be this number? So that's 440 something multiplied it to that something number will be less than or equal to 1600. So that would be 3 maybe. So if we say 3, the number over here, so multiply that by 3. 3 times 3, 9. 4 times 3, 12. Plus 1, 13. So that's 1329. So it's less than 1600. Now let's put 3 over here. So our answer here is 3. So we put 3 right there. And 443 times 3 is 1329. And subtract. So this becomes 10, this becomes 9, and this becomes 5. So 10 minus 9 is 1, 9 minus 2 is 7, 5 minus 3 is 2, 271. And if we try another, or if we continue doing it, our next digit on the answer, we would be adding 3 again on this. So this will be 446, and we're adding another square right there. So we'll just find this number corresponding to that. If we multiply this to this missing number over here, it will be less than this 271. By the way, we add another zeros and bring those down. So that one right there, 27,100. So here 446, and adding another digit over here, that this will be 4,460 something. And if you multiply that number, this something over here in the ones digit multiplied by itself over here will be equal or less than 27,000. This is 4,000 already, right? It's considered 4,000. And if we take a look at it, 7 times 4 is 28 already. So since it's 4,460 something, so let's try 6, right? So if we put 6 right there, so that will be 4,466 times 6. 6 times 6, 36, 33, 36 plus 3, 39. 6 times 4, 24 plus 3, 27, 2, 24 plus 2, 28. So that will be over already. By the way, our multiplication here is wrong. This is 26, not 28. So 26. So 26,796, and this is 27,100. So it's less than this. So we have here 26,796, and our answer here is 6. So once again, add 6 to the last digit. Below that 6, this is 4,472, since we're adding this both. And if we continue on getting the answer over here, another decimal place, just keep going, adding 2 zeros to the right, every two digits to the right in zeros, and just bring down those zeros. So that's how it is. So our answer here is 2.236. So that's the square root of 5, 2.236 in 3 decimal places. All right, so next we'll be doing this square root of 1,225. So we're writing that square root of 1,225 as like what we're doing on division, right? So here, group the numbers in 2 digits, 2 places, starting from the right to the left. So we start with 12. What is that number? If you square that, it will become 12 or less. So this is close to 3, right? Since 3 square is 9. So now 9 is less than 12. So we can have that the first number in our answer. So 3, we'll put here 3 here again. And then 3 squared, this is 9, right? So 9. So let's subtract. 12 minus 9 is 3. And bring down 25, the 2 digits. And here, add 3 or double that. That becomes 6. And here, let's add another digit to the right of 6. That will be our next answer, the number in our answer. 60 something multiplied by that something, it will be equal to 325 or less. So what would be this number over here? So assuming this is like 60 times what? 64, or 64 times 4. 60 times 4, 240, right? 6 times, since 6 times 4 is 24. It's way less than 325. So let's say 5. This will be 65, right? So put 65 times 5. 5 times 5, 25. Here 2. 6 times 5, 30. Plus 2 is 32. So that's exactly the same, 325. So remainder 0. And so the next number here in our answer is 5. So this is exactly a perfect square, since 35 square is 1,225. So let's go to the next one. Square root of 2.345. And so now we're writing the square of 2.345 as like what we are doing a division. So here we have decimal place, 2.345. So what should we do now? From the decimal place, count to the left. So this is just one digit, right? So assume that as 1 digit. And to the right of the decimal place, separate every two digits. So 34, and this one is just 5 by itself. What we do, just add 0, and that will be 2 digits again. Now, think of a number that if we square it, it will be 2 or less than 2. What would be that number? That's 1, right? So 1 times 1 is 1. So if we subtract, 2 minus 1 is 1. And here, bring down the 2 digits, 34. And since the decimal place is right there, just put the decimal place. And here on the left side, we have 1. Our answer is 1. So double that. 1 plus 1 is 2. And then add another digit to the right of 2. And what's that number to the right of 2? It will be multiplied by itself, will be equal to or less than 134. So what would be this number over here? If we had this, consider this as 20, right? So let's say 24. 24 times 4, that'll be 96, and way lower than or smaller than 134. So let's try. So 5, if that is 5, so this is 5 right there. It's multiplied by 5. So that's 125, right? 25 times 5, 125. So this is smaller than 134. So this is 125. Subtract. So it's 14. This becomes 2. So this is 9. And bring down the 2 digits, right? From up above. That's 950. Now, our answer here is 5. So we put 5 over here. And then plus 5 over here. So 25 plus 5, that's 30. And now we're putting another square right here. And that would be the next digit in our answer. And since we have here 950, and this, considering this is 300, what is the number in this square? And to be added to 300 something. And if we multiply that to that same number, it will be equal to or less than 950. So what would be this number? Considering this is 30 and add another digit over here, though, this will be 300 already. And this is 900. So it should be 3, right? So that will be 303, right? So that is 303 multiplied by itself, 3. So this is 9, this is 0, this is 9. So 909, 909. So this is 3. So our answer here again is 3. And here is 909. Subtract that. That is 41, right? 950 minus 909. So if we keep going and finding another decimal place to the right, so we'll be adding another 3 over here. So this is 300. 3 plus 3 is 6, and then we're adding another box over here where we find that number. So since this is 41, if you would like to do that, continue doing it. Add another 2 digits right here in terms 0. So bring down those 2 zeros over here. So this is 4100 or 4100. So this is considered 3060 something, right? What would be this number over here multiplied by this number? It'll be equal or less than 4,100. Since this is 3,000 already, right? It's just very obvious that it multiplied it by 1. If 2 is already, that will be 6,000 already, and yet this is 4,000. So this is 1. So 3,061 times 1 is the same, 3,061, right? So subtract. So 10, this becomes 9, this becomes 0, 10 minus 1 is 9, 9 minus 6 is 3, 0, and 1, right? So adding 1 over here, 306, 1 plus 1 is 3062. And adding another box over here, since our answer is 1, so put 1 right there. So that's how to do it. If you can visualize what's going on by using the division method to find the square root of any number, any whole number or a number in decimal form. So let's do the next one, the last one. And by the way, so the square root of 2.345 is 1.531, and so on if we would like to keep going. All right, so let's do the last one. Square root of 231.132. So here written as like what we're doing a division, right? So 231.132. So here separate the digits from starting from the decimal point, from the right to the left, so these 2 digits and this 1 digit, and to the right also 2 digits, and here 1, we can add 0 to make it 2 digits right there. So you start from the left. Think of a number that if you square it, it will be equal to 2 or less. So that here 1 again. So 1 times 1, or 1 squared, is 1, right? So 1, and then subtract. 2 minus 1 is 1, and double the 1, that becomes 2. And here bring down 31, the 2 digits from the top, and here we'll find another digit to the right of 2, so it will be our next number in the answer up above. So now think of a number that if when we multiply this 20 something by that number, it will be equal or less than this number 131. So what would be that number? So 5 maybe. So let's say if this is 5, let's put 5 over here. 25 times 5, right? So that will be 125, right? So this is 125, and 131 minus 125, that's 6, right? So this is 11, this is 2, 11 minus 5 is 6, okay. And here bring down 13, all right, to the right of the decimal point. So our answer here is 5, so we put 5 on here, and the decimal point, place that above, and here make our number over here, we add 5 again. So 25 plus 5, this becomes 30, and add another square for our next number to be written on top as part of our answer. Now bring down 13, so we have now 613. Think of a number that if you multiply by this number, it will become or less than this number, 613. What would be this number right here? So if this is 300, assuming this is 300 and this is 600, right? So if we write 1, maybe 301 times 1 is just 300. So it's very obvious this is 2, right? So 302. So 302 times 2 is 604, right? So this, we write that 604 over here, and subtract 13 minus 4, that's 9, right? And bring down this 20 from up there, so this is now 920, and our answer here is 2, so we're at 2 on top. And then we finish this number over here, so 302 plus 2, so this is now 304, and we add another square for another digit to be added to our answer over here on top. So what is that number to be multiplied by this number will be equal or less than 920, right? If you notice, this is 920 and this is 3000 already, 3040. So it's very obvious that it should be 0, right? Because this is bigger already, right? So let's put this 0. 3040 times 0 is 0, right? So just add 0. So 920 minus 0, that's the same 920. So we have 0 over here. And if we continue doing this, we'll be adding another group of 2 digits of zeros over here on the right. And since our answer is 0 right there, so just add 0. So that's the same, 304, 0, and then we add another box that corresponds to the next digit to be added to our answer. And since we have just added a group of 2 zeros, we drag down, drop it on here, and we have 92,000, and we have here, this is 92,000, and this is considered like 30,000. So what would be the number that we add to the right of this number and multiply that number to this number will be equals to 92,000 or less. Since this is 30 and this is 92, well, it's very obvious that we can put 3 times, right? 30,000 times 3 is 90,000. So let's try 3. So here, 30,403 times 3. So 3 times 3 is 9. 3 times 0 is 0. 4 times 3 is 12. 1. So that's 1. 3 times 3 is 9. So that's 91,209. So that is 91,209 over here. And then subtract that. Since we have 3 right here, so the added digit right here is 3. So, well, we can stop right there now if you want to. And the square root of 231.132 is 15.203. So that's all for today. And so now you know how to get the square root, or how to solve the square root of a whole number or numbers in decimal forms by using division method. So that's all for now. Have a great day, everyone. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.